Guys, it's really an honor to ride a motorcycle like this, which is considered, in my eyes, this is motorcycle royalty. This is the 69 750 Sandcast. And if there ever was a Honda street bike that could be considered the holy grail of the Honda lineup, this is it. This is the first one, the Sandcast engine. There's I believe 42 different items on this than there is on the production version, the 1970 model. I'll let Justin confirm that because I do have a Sandcast expert. I had a phone a friend. He's standing here right now, so he's going to chime in a minute. But before I let him take over and tell you about some of the really cool features of this bike, I'm going to go over this particular one. This was owned by an old man who passed away with a bike. He had a lifelong love affair with it, Southern California guy, and didn't ride it much the last 10 years. He was alive when he passed away. His estate called us, and his wishes were that we buy it, restore it, and find it in a new home. So that brings us to where we are today, many months later. So we shipped it from California, and we gave it what we'll call a comprehensive preservation service, because, guys, this is the first Sandcast we've ever had that did not need a restoration service, because it has only 4,881 miles on the original odometer. And I've ridden more classic motorcycles than any man on planet Earth in the last 10 years. It's going to be a Guinness World Book of Record, I'm pretty sure, because I think what are we at, 12,000 classics that I've ridden, so all on video. So in any event, after riding that many bikes, you really get a feel for is a bike lipstick on a pig, or is it really tight as a tiger? Because I like to say, once a cucumber becomes a pickle, it's hard to get it back to that cucumber status. And this one's a cucumber, 4,881 miles, and it is in outstanding original condition. It did need a fair amount of work, and he had done some work to it originally also before we had gotten it, including the fuel tank. He had replaced the fuel tank and the seat, because the original seat was just bagged out, and the original tank had some issues, so he replaced the tank and the seat and the front fender and the wheel set. Other than that, the bike is pretty much all original. He did chrome some of the parts. You can see chrome the valve cover and the engine case covers, as you can see, and the clutch cover. He swapped that out for a chrome one too. That was a common thing that they would do in the 70s. But the frame, the engine, matching numbers, original, classic. And we took the tank, the seat, the wheel set off, the forks off of it, took the exhaust off, went through everything on the bike, top to bottom. A total of 90 hours of shop labor we put into the bike. Starting with the front end, the forks were completely rebuilt. New seals, new fork boots, new fork oil. The steering stem bearings were serviced. The front wheel bearings were serviced. It has a brand new tire and tube. The front caliper was completely rebuilt. The master cylinder was completely rebuilt. New brake pads, so the whole brake system was gone through. The front wheel and the forks were professionally detailed while it was dismantled. The wheel set was vapor blasted, vapor honed. As you can see, that the hubs look super clean. Those are vapor honed. The fork lowers were given the original factory finish, and everything was cleaned and polished to a high degree, trying to maintain the originality on the bike. The fuel tank was given the vapor honing on the interior, cleaned immaculately, and you can see it has a new tank trim on the bottom. The fuel petcocks were rebuilt. Were they rebuilt or were they new? Rebuilt. The original fuel petcocks were rebuilt. Mr. Turbo himself, who was our resident Honda CB750 expert. Matter of fact, the day I met him, I bought 3 750 single overhead cam models just like this, and I learned a little bit about his story. His next door neighbor has 42 of these. We can't tell you where he lives, or we'd have to shoot you, but including 4 Sandcasts. And Justin grew up with this guy as a neighbor, as a young man, young teenager, and spent a lot of time learning the idiosyncrasies and the ins and out of the Sandcast model. That's why we call him our resident guru on the Sandcast, because he knows all the items on this bike that are different than a standard one and can recite them. But back to this bike, the carbs were completely dismantled right down to the last nut and bolt, and the carb rack was completely split. That looks like a new airbox. That's not, guys. That's not a reproduction. That's the original factory airbox, which speaks to the 4,000 miles this bike has. Those are the original side covers. Those are not reproductions. They're 100% original. The paint on the headlight ears and the bucket, that is all original, which is in spectacular condition for a 56-year-old motorcycle. The tank must have been replaced early on in his ownership. The only reason we say it's not the original tank, because it looks original, is it's not a wrinkle tank on the inside. So it may have been replaced early on in life. I don't know. But the carbs are completely dismantled. The rack was split. Everything in the carbs was rebuilt. All new parts, new air filter, new intake boots. The bike's been completely gone through top to bottom. If I forgot anything, I'll have Justin talk about it. Oil was changed. The seat cover is a new seat cover. All of the light bulbs, everything works on it. The headlight, turn light, tail lights, turn signals. The rear wheel was removed and vapor blasted or vapor honed, as you can see. New rear brake pads. The chain and the sprocket is a new gold chain. And as far as the parts we used on it, there's a new Dunlop K70 front tire, new Dunlop K70 rear tire. It's got new exhaust heat shields on the sides of the exhaust system. New headlight mounting bolts, new fuel lines, new fuel filters, a new battery, a gallon and a half of VP94 fuel, 2 new tubes, front and rear, a new battery tender lead so you can leave it plugged in, new exhaust, passenger foot peg bolts, a gallon of Spectro 1040 oil, new oil filter, new fork seals from K&S, new fork boot covers, new 530 X-ring chain, new front brake caliper rebuild kit, new front brake hose kit, new clutch cable, new Honda levers, NOS, clutch and brake lever, new NOS Honda air filter, brand new 69 gas tank trim on the bottom, and what's called the ultimate carb rebuild kit, which is basically all the jets and all new seals and everything. New handlebars, new grips, a new gas cap gasket, a new fuel petcock rebuild kit, a new front master cylinder rebuild kit, new H4 headlight, new shock washers and nuts, new horn and clamp, new NGK DR8ES spark plugs, and that's about it for parts. The rest of it was all cosmetic restoration and detailing. The center stand was sandblasted and repainted. The kickstand was sandblasted and repainted. The swing arm was sanded and painted, as were the frame rail down tubes. Just the visible part of the frames that needed it, got it. You can see the original factory, September of 1969 badge, along with the CB750 1006868 serial number. So I don't know if you've ever ridden one of these, but let me spin this thing around so you can get a look at the other side in the sunlight. I don't know if the sunlight's a little harsh right now, but it's going to give you, you're going to be able to see every nook and cranny on it. Let me spin it around. Bike runs absolutely amazing. The clutch, the transmission, the brakes are all perfect. The wheel set's nice and straight. And of course, with the new tires on it, it rides like a brand new motorcycle. You see on this side, the chrome engine cover and the chrome valve covers. And yeah, Justin, did I leave anything out?
No, this really is a phenomenal, immaculate example. One of the problems these bikes had out of the box was the chains were really weak. Chain technology was not caught up to the engine technology. These made way more power than any chain was able to handle back then. So a lot of these, unfortunately, would throw the chains, and this has no sign of any damage to the engine. The engine's in perfect condition. You can see they all, the engine cases, the cylinder, as well as the cylinder head, all have the beautiful original Sandcast finishes, which is just remarkable to see. And it still has like the original controls on it too. And there's no fading on these controls. Usually these get sun faded over time. They start to gray out, but on both sides, you can see the finishes are brand new. This is a Sandcast only black kill switch right here as well, just proving the originality of the bike. Even the mirrors are original to this bike, which you just never see these days. So it was nothing but a pleasure to work on this thing. Like Ken said, this bike is super smooth, super tight. It shows how low mileage it is when you ride it. It's just it's just a phenomenal example. It really is. And like even these side cover badges have no wear on them. You can see it's the original gold finish. It still sparkles like it's in the showroom floor.
Clearly a bike that was stored indoors its whole life and well maintained. It does have patina on it. The bike's 56 years old. It's almost 60 years old, so it's not brand new, but it's in incredibly good condition for an original unrestored classic that was just given a full, well, what I call a preservation service. compared to the other Sandcasts that we've had, they all were higher miles. Have you ever seen one with this low miles on it?
No, I haven't personally. The lowest one I've seen is twice the mileage of this one. I saw one with 9,000 miles, and I thought that was incredible. So when this rolled through the door, it was like pulling a Rolex out of the box from 1969. It was like a piece of jewelry that just sat in a box somewhere. It was incredible.
So that's the good news. Bad news is we shipped it from California, and we paid a king's ransom for it to begin with, and we have a work order totaling $15,670, which is 90 hours of shop labor plus $2,150 in parts. So we can't give it away, but it'll be priced accordingly. It'll be sold at auction on eBay. And if you have any questions about it, you can give us a call, 860-454-7024, anytime Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We're always excited when a Sandcast comes in, and we've been here for, well, we opened the shop in 2013, so coming up on 13 years. And we've only had, was it 3?
Yeah,
or 2?
I think 2 since I've been here.
So this is number 3, or is this number 2?
I think this is number 2.
Number 2. So we've had 2. we've had literally 12,000 motorcycles come through, not including the new bikes. So we're the number 1 gas, number 1 Buell, number 1 Stark dealer. Junior sold 66 Stark in 1 month. We've had thousands of new bikes come through here, and 12,000 classics. Not even including all the ones that are on display in the museum that come and go, and all the events we've had here. And this is only the second Sandcast that's graced the floors of the New England Motorcycle Museum. It'll be on display in there on the second floor of the New England Motorcycle Museum. If you want to come check it out, give us a call. We can ship it anywhere in the world, and we can finance this through Freedom Road. So if you have any questions at all, give us a call. I was standing back and looking at this pipe, and I said, it didn't look that shiny. It's got wax on it still. When it came through the detail shop, just had a little wax on it. That's funny. Anyways, the fact that these are the original, that's the original airbox and the original side covers is proof to me. And the condition of the gauges is and the way the bike rides. I started out by saying I've ridden 12,000 classics. You just know when something's tight and right, and this is as good as it gets. The original VIN number, matching VIN number. I don't have my glasses on, but can you read off the VIN numbers for me?
Yeah, the VIN number for the frame is CB750-1006668, and the engine number is CB750E-1006815. So it is within 200. That's considered numbers matching. They didn't. Factories weren't required to actually match the frame and the engine VIN until about 10 years later. So this is numbers matching.
It's as good as it gets, guys. So if you wanted to restore any component of the motorcycle to its original condition, like the chrome covers, you could do that. This is as far as we wanted to take it, because if we go too far, and we're obviously going to be reselling this, it might become unaffordable. So we're trying to value engineer what we're doing here so that it's affordable and worth every penny. And like I said, you probably won't find a lower mileage Sandcast for sale on planet Earth today in a more well-sorted, original, unrestored Sandcast than this. So it's what we call an investment quality classic, an iconic holy grail of the Honda kingdom. That's all I got to say. If you have any questions, give us a call. Thanks for watching, and God bless America.